All right, we're live again, I think. Yeah, looks live. Cool. All right, thank you for watching the VOD. Thank you all the subs that are coming in. YouTube guys. Seeing a nice uptick in YouTube subs. It doesn't cost you anything. To us, it's just one of those numbers. It's kind of cool to see get bigger. And given how many people on the team are streaming and uploading videos, it seems well worth the price. What's up, Phantom Ghost? Alright. It probably won't be a very long stream / VOD, so I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing for you, but however you feel about it, that is the fact. Hey, Sarenth. Tiffler, what's going on? Abago, 70. I don't even know what I was going to say after 70. I don't even think it was a number. I think it... I was just going to... 70 what? Anyways. Abago. I guess depending on if you're from Texas. I guess in Texas it'd be Abago. Either way, hello. Vorar. Orcish Morkish. Abago. Did I say? I said Abago? Abago? I don't honestly, I don't know what I say, and I don't watch the VODs, so I'll never know. I say random stuff for somewhere between 1 and 3 hours and then call it a night. I don't understand it. But apparently some folks watch it, so I keep doing it. We've been doing it for, at this point, several years. Even more than several. Is it many? What's the separation between several and many? A few. Housepants. Hello. Oh, I like that ghost. Why am I'm spacing on what that ghost is from. What is that? Many years, I guess. Yeah, many. Dadvik, hello. You're coming from recorded, Sean, to live stream, Sean. Can you tell the difference? How's the music volume? Is it okay? Angel. Cute. Saren said, getting into that southern math with trying to differentiate between a few or many. We'll just call it all Coke. Mountain Dew is a Coke. Dr. Pibb's Coke. Not a cocaine. Yeah, soda. Nobody in the South's calling cocaine, I don't think. Or they're not calling the cocaine, they're calling it cocaine. Or booger sugar. Couple, few, some, several, many. Thank you, Easily. What's up, Let's Play? Synlytic, what's going on? I need a sub button? No. I don't want to... yeah, I've gotten so used to not having it, man. Like, I appreciate it. Definitely go hook up the other guys. The other team members, they need it. Bet it more than me. I am a man of wealth. I mean, it's not true. I'm wealthy in spirit. I'm wealthy in my allowance that I get each month. What's up, Death Rider? You guys sure the music's not too loud? It's loud for me. I mean, I love it, but it's loud. Oh, your blood pressure's up? My blood pressure is not up. All right, I don't think I'm ever making it. Oh, I spoke too soon. Editor's being slow as usual. Baron65 said, robot comparison is the thief of joy after all. We appreciate what we have and grow from it. Yep. Yeah. It's funny, I actually, until you said that, I really didn't consider the fact. I don't like spend much, I'm not very comparative. I do look at some things and I'm like, oh, that's inspirational. But I'm not like, oh man, that guy's got this. Archon, it's either Arcanis Ivy or Archon is Ivy. Either way, thank you for the confirmation on the sound levels. What's up, Soulfire? Lex 5280. Gunnarwolf. My dear, hopefully not too frozen friend. Justin Beard, what's going on? Asteranian. Q, you know I messed your name up, right? Like, I think we even talked about that once. I messed that name up. Quazzaro. Quaddle. Last stream, I think it was charcuterie, and now it's Quazzaro. What's up, Swanee? All right. Anybody in the zone with me? I need to check some stuff. Chip is it okay if I reload the zone? Charcuterie. That is the pronunciation, Swanee. What's up, Dusty? Bill. XV. Criddle. Thank you for the raid, sir. I gotta get my... Oh, look, there's Swanee. Alright, I'm gonna reload the zone because I didn't get a response. And then let me see if these fixes fixed. How was your fireside chat, Criddle? Everything good? Velkin Sussen. Did I pronounce that correctly? Thank you for the follow. It's definitely pronounced Cuisinitial. Why are you doing this to me, Soulfire? Why are you making an already tough pronunciation even worse? Barbarian, Malik, welcome. Beleg Strongbow, hello. Justin Beard said, oh, it's cold out, but it's going to be colder next week. Apartment is warmed up. Dude, it warmed up in Germany. It was like jacket weather today. Weird. It was nice though. So I took the puppy on a brisk walk around the neighborhood earlier today because he's getting a little chunky. I hope he's not watching. I don't want him to feel bad, but he is. We've put on some winter weight, and we've been bulking, and then it's January. We're gonna get fit. Macian72, hello. Criddle said, we had a great chat today. So many different takes on various playstyles. Oh, interesting. Yeah. It's, I mean, there's a lot of people play a lot of different ways. I added nothing to the conversation just then. I'm just frickin' talking. All right, so you can't see it on my other monitor, but I've got a monitor full of bugs. And I went through earlier. For those of you that are going to comment on this VOD of like, why is he always in the same zone? I don't know what to tell you. We only have one zone. You busted. Though, when I do run around in here like this, I'm kind of like, oh man, City of Adventure. One of the only downsides to all the housing in here is like we may wind up revoking some housing just to put some interesting NPCs in. So that's a risk. You never know what's going to happen before. Yeah, we probably won't steal your house once it's live. Yeah, I've got housing bugs today, Criddle. I earlier this morning I had to like focus because it's 3 tables, and it's 3 tables plus you've got to edit the assets in the scene and make sure that they're all linked up properly. It's a fine system. It's just it's one that I don't even really even like to have music playing for. You know what I mean? Like I just want to, because I don't want to screw it up, because the way that housing works at the moment, it does require like, it's not just as easy as me making the change and then reloading the data, because it's in the scene in the way that it's loaded. Ollie said like basically then I've got to push it, like check it in, push it. Then when the server gets like, when the server bounces, gets updated, then we can check. So I'm going to check real quick and see if my fix is fixed or what. What's up, Secrets? Things are well. Hopefully things are good for you as well. Vickrel, what's going on? I'm glad you're here. Hello, Gorf. Bulldog. Catalones. Hyper Taco. Worn Out Plays. What's going on? You have a falling iguana alert where you live? Is that for real? All right, so I've got some mostly accurate lokes here. So let me loke around and see if these bugs are legit. 4, 3, 6, 15. I'm not paying attention to you, Swanee. I'm sorry. Oh, and I'm really tired. I'm not going to lie to you. I've got a bowl of coffee here to see if it helps, but it may be a pretty short stream because I'm just like, I don't have the energy. Vickrel, thank you for the follow. Tractor Tom. Let's see. Secret said IMO buff timer should be paused inside a house. That way people gather in the commons areas. Should be or shouldn't be. We're running something similar with our game actually. If we gave benefits to people being in their house, the world would feel less alive. Well, what we've done is we haven't given you curtains. So you'll have a house, but you won't have curtains. And really, there will be a lot of peeping Tomery going on. So the house will feel alive, and it'll be full of creepers, creepy little gnomes that are going to be staring in your window. Going, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Which, I mean, I guess it could be worse. It could be a human just looking in. But with a gnome, it's a bit creepier because I got to keep hopping up. What are you doing? Yeah, we're going to have an item that you can put down so you can, like, climb up it. Oh. Getting too close like that turns Swanee into kind of like the horror movie henchman kind of look. The long but thin hair. Peeper buff. Do you have a housing district or is this non-instanced? It's non-instanced. And so when people, I mean, there are some areas within Night Harbor that are more densely packed with housing than others. But like when people are talking about running by, you know, hey, I was running by and there's like all these empty structures. Well, it's, you know, we were putting them in as player housing. So player owned homes or player shops and stuff. Like this is a player property here. You need a shader to see people when the shades are drawn. Like we do want to put curtains and stuff in. I was just kidding. We eventually want to have curtains. Gonna hire gnomes to block your windows? That's actually a pretty ingenious idea. There will be a whole guild of it. Like instead of Dialaport, it'll be Diala Ogre's big ass in your window. How much restriction are you placing on where items can be placed? So we were just talking about that. We're gonna have a different designation for volumes. So you'll have your indoor volumes of probably a couple different types and your outdoor volumes. And so like a property like this, we can give you an outdoor volume and then you can place outdoor furnishings. So you can't just put your bed out here, but you know, you can put some stuff out. And we're running through like over the next few weeks, we'll be working through stuff like furnishing count restrictions, how to progress that. You know, getting a little bit better definition in place of like what can go in and what can go out. But like inside your house, I mean, if you want to be silly with your furnishings, I think that's your business. In the houses, especially in this part of Night Harbor, there's a lot of unique properties. So like these two are very similar. But then you can get into some other ones that are just like, okay, not that different. I lied on that one, but there are some really cool properties. Speaking of which, there's a really cool property over here. It had a bug. Let me see if I fixed it. Since I'm supposed to be checking my bug fixes right now. Pops Aviv, thank you. Well, thank you for the follow while I walk into a wall. A lot of WoW players are doing creative stuff, but a lot of them involve exploits that become features. Yeah, I saw a few of them. Been trying to keep an eye on... Oh my god, the server's coming down in 60 seconds. Let's run. Can we make it there? I don't think we're going to make it, guys. We'll have to come back. Can I PK somebody through the window on a PvP server? I believe no. I think that's going to be a no. Oh, I think I fixed it. What? I think I fixed it, but I'm rushing, so... Like, this is a pretty cool property. Can I just tell the server no? I can, but it doesn't really care what I say. Look at this nice area up here. This is gonna be cool. You can put something up here. Probably not a ton of lights, and we'll probably have to cull them in a very aggressive manner. Oh, okay, when the server comes back up, we'll go back and start checking bugs. All right, so what do you want to do while the server's down, I guess? Hang out? Talk about stuff? How's your Friday? Let me actually read chat since the server's coming down. Wolflar, thank you for the follow. Very kind of you. Hey, Magic Hot. Secret said, Sean, it's going to be a great year for classic MMOs between M&M, the game I'm working on, and AOA. People will be eating well. Excited to see y'all release. Excited. English is hard. Excited to see y'all release. It's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be a continuation of the adventure. So you've referenced the game you're working on twice now, Secrets. I know how you are. You show up and you're like, you're like, I want to hint about something I'm doing. Can you describe it? Can you say? Can you spill the beans? Of course you can't, but what? Mm-hmm. I need to figure out how to sit in my chair while I'm streaming. After 5 years. Is it back up? Do I need to pull? Is there anything new to pull? I don't see anything. Cool. All right. Well, you guys chat. Barbarian said, "What is AOA? I see multiple names from Google on that." I'll script the spelling because I do. Wait, do I? I think I updated. Do we have an AOA now to go along with? We do. All right, I did add it right there. Adrelon. Beleg. Beleg said, "Sean, I was just in Lithuania with the army and was translating, hanging out with the Germans, and after a while I kept forgetting English words, and I'd go back to our American tent. Can definitely be hard switching back once your mind is still going to German." Adrulin? Adrulon. It's a Lucklin Luslin thing for you guys. For those of you that don't realize, it's just Lucklin. Beleg, what army? What army? The Lithuanian army? Oh, the American. Okay, I was like, I have never been to Lithuania, but I have worked. I've worked with a giant Lithuanian. All right, so let's actually check these bugs. I'm gonna go in order. Sean says Lucklin. Darius said, "I'm Lithuanian." Are you really? Oh, by the way, I fixed the chat box. You probably don't see that. Oh, no, you don't see that on Twitch. But it's fixed. I fixed the chat box. So the folks on watching the VOD can see your chats. Lithuanian American? Right on. Are you ginormous? Are you a giant Lithuanian? Do they come in different varieties? Yeah, it rains up here. Like I assume the Baltic states are similar to like northern Germany. It's just kind of like often just damp. Hey, Trackham. Little below average height. That's okay. That's okay. The world needs all types. Don't feel bad. The world needs people to make people like me feel taller. All right. What's going on with this? Well, that's an entirely new bug. I've replaced a previous bug with a new bug. Why are you like this? That's cool. Don't know why half the Lithuanians I met were named Lucas. Like every one of the people I've met from Poland is named Lucas, but they spell it differently. They pronounce it differently. Łukasz. Super nice, the Poles. It's just supposed to be the trade house. It's or sale. Yep, it's whatever, or sale. Alright, so what was the problem with this? The house sign and door at this location do not function. That functions now. That functions now. I have fixed a bug. This may be the most bugs you've ever seen me verify that I fixed in a stream ever in the history of me streaming. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do them all. Glory, thank you for the follow. Viper said I'm 5'6", basically IRL gnome. Secret said I'm 5'6" as well. I sense a club starting. Alright, next bug. Alright, what was the bug here? The for sale sign works, but the door does not open. Okay, it does work. That doesn't look like the right spot, though. Where did we go? Where was this one? Alright. This was a separate bug. This is one more, so this is actually the third bug I verified. Recommendation was there wasn't a player house here. It was not set up, so I set this up. It is actually a very nice property if you're in the market. Relatively central. Upstairs. Very open floor plan. Coda. 2-wheel drive, 58. Thank you for the follow. They could use a laundry chute. Yeah, dude. There's so many things that we could add over time, or maybe we'll do like a little minor housing update where we add in some more like ladders up to roofs and this and that. But we'll get the basics in. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to do with housing, I think, over time. We've got a slightly smaller budget than WoW, so we're doing baby steps. Vickrell said 6'6". All right, that's what I'm talking about. So we're gonna do baby steps with our housing and with our everything else, and then over time, and essentially it's because if you guys wind up not playing the game, if you're like, don't enjoy it, you don't stick around for more than a month or 2 months or 3 months, Well, then we know we don't have to put any more work into... I'm just kidding. Even if you all quit, we're still going to make the housing system even crazier. Do even more with all of the systems. And then, you know, whatever. Maybe you come back. Baby steps. I love What About Bob. It's been a long time since I saw that movie. For a while after my last divorce, I was just like, I think I'm just gonna do the Bill Murray. I think I'm just gonna, like, my goal was honestly to get to a point where I could just live in random hotels and hang out, and if people were like having a party or something, just invite myself in, and that was gonna be my plan. How will server merges and houses work? We have an arena and it will be a knife fight to the death. Permadeath knife fight. Coda said, hey, Robot in chat. EQ and Eminem for the win. Hey, thank you. Ornery stream today. I'm a little riled up. Did you get to live the Bill Murray life for a while? I did for a while. Me and my puppy. Poor dog. 472. 15. Negative 1024. I got all that out of my system though. This does not look like the house we were looking for. That was a problem I ran into with some of these bugs. No offense, John NS, but and that doesn't even match. Like there's a screenshot with the coordinates and it's different than what's written above it. Oh, John, we're gonna talk about this. Sean, does the team plan on adding the feature of choosing on what channel you can default chat in a specific chat tab? Meaning I can... Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, so we can set the default to always chat here, but then if you click on a different tab, then it switches to the appropriate channel for that. I've never even checked to see if that's in. For all I know, it's in, but if it's not in, then yeah, we'll add that. So glad to catch a stream finally. It's looking so good. Hey, thank you. I like your Arc Raiders badge. I like that little... It just reminds me of like Atari or something. It was a really... they've done some really great stuff with the aesthetics there. And now that I have a new computer, maybe one of these days if I have more than 15 minutes, I'll hop in and play some. Perez said, Sean, I got my 2 weeks vacation approved for June 1st. Well, hey, no pressure. No pressure. I guess we got to keep the date now. Shit. Rip says, hey there, Robot. I hope you're doing well across the big pond. It's a shame I can't gift subs here. I did for the other M&M team members I've seen here. Take my money. Hey, thank you very kindly for doing that on the other channels. That's awesome. That's all I ask for. Ryan's, what's going on? Can't wait for your Deep Gnome Wizard. Oh, the Deep Gnome animations that are going on behind the scenes right now are so cute. They're so cute. Shit. Swanee said, Robot, if you have the original bug reports in a web app, there's a click, copy, go to command. No, I'm going through the GitHub issue, so, and I'm doing it very slowly. I'm going to focus because I want to run through every one of these really fast on stream to just prove that I can validate bug fixes. Don't tease you. The art already has you too excited for the Deep Gnome. Y'all are doing too good with it. Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. I'm just an observer. So let's go to 436 15 negative 1016. This sounds familiar. Were we just here? We were. This is... Oh my gosh. It's the same screenshot for both of these. Really? So where is this one? 72, 15. And that's not the right one. But it was okay. House ID 82. I'll get to house ID out of the DB then, because I've got like all these DB windows open over here, like a bunch of them. And I'll move it over here for now, so I'm not blocking you guys. And let's go find 82 and get its dang old coordinates. Whoa, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Cool. And where are we? Interesting. So this works. Okay, it's 82. And what was the bug? Sign works, but a door doesn't open. I know what's going on with this one then. So let's go over to scene. Let's find me. I have me selected. Oh, dude, it gets kind of chunky with all these gizmos. All right. Rots and Frosty Pookie. Thank you for the follows. Frosty said, I leave my cushy teaching job in the military, lots of spare time, end of month February to go back to working the flight line. I keep crossing my fingers that my guild will get to play some more alpha together before I go back to the grind and have less time to play. Yeah. You don't get any downtime on the flight line? Where's the best place to submit constructive criticism on classes? Also QA test. I mean, in-game bug command or Discord. You can try Discord. You can try both. Why not? You can copy paste. Byroll said, I already told my family, just pretend I don't exist for a month, for the month of June. Gonna go full on goblin mode. Don't, you guys pace yourself. And I'm not just saying that because every month that it takes you gives us an additional $15. Just saying pace yourself. You know, it's healthier. It's healthier if you pace yourself at least 6 months. If you can extend your lifetime value, I mean, if you can extend your, for health reasons, if you can play responsibly. Thank you, Bill. Hey, Captain Caldwell. Static placement tool. Oh, it can't be this, though, in terms of bugs. We'll see what happens. Been teaching avionics. Oh, you're talking to Swanee. Oh, Air Force stuff. You guys are talking about the Air Force. All right. Well, we'll have to... Yeah, chat is working again. I fixed it. I fixed it. Let me look into DB and see... Let me see what statics we got going on here in Night Harbor. Do we even have any more? Maybe. We still got a couple of doors. What is the loc of this guy? $462. Nope, that's not it. All right, we'll try to verify some of the other bugs in. UI's all jacked up. So this door still doesn't work, but it is house 82, so I can track that down. Let me double check in the DB really quick. So we got house 82. And we've got volumes and we've got doors. Bottle Rocker, I am fixing some bugs. I've got a bunch of bugs over here in my GitHub issues that were housing related bugs. I fixed all of them earlier today, but now I'm trying to validate my fixes because this is probably one of our slower things to like fix on the design side because it requires like saving it in a scene, pushing that, having the server reload it. So it's a bit clunky. Coot said, has something changed with the zoning permits around houses lately? I used to be able to put torches on my wall and storage crates next to the wall on the outside, but now I can't put anything within like 10 feet of it. Not that I know of directly. Not that I remember hearing discussed, but we will be adding in more like rules and stuff for that. I mean, something might have changed. I'm just not aware of it. All right, so on this guy, we're going to skip it. We're going to come back. And I'll make a note really quick. Come back to verify the door on 82. Let's see. But can you shoot me like a DM or post it somewhere with like a image of what you're seeing as well? If you've got some, yeah, and if you've got any housing bugs that you're seeing in like alpha or whatever, feel free to let me know. Sign at this location does not function. Door does not function. It now functions. It now functions. All right, that's fixed as well. Hey, what's up, Vicky? I just want to say, I know that you hit me with a follow yesterday, but given the nature of the type of stream that we have here, I want to give a shout out to Cheek Clapper 3000 who followed yesterday. Thanks for being out there. Thank you for your service. Grogmon said clap clap, but I read it as Greg's mom. I was like, oh wow, that escalated. Hello, Grogmon. Most mature dev team ever. We we aspire. There's a few of us that just ruin it for the rest of them. And by a few of us, I mean mostly just me and the Steves. Yeah, that was not helpful. That's not what I wanted to go to. That'll be your alt now, Greg's mom. Right on. Glad I could help. L-Dub, thank you for the follow. Nickel Archer said robots. Playing alpha and don't know. I found a bug. If I found a bug, but there is a word name that seems to be banned, though it's not profanity. I was trying to make a character name Astartes. Did I pronounce that wrong? I probably did. All my street cred's gone. It told me to choose a valid name for a character. Yeah, and it's Legion from Warhammer. We just have a highly aggressive filter that we need to like rein in a little bit. Apologies. There's a few people that Geiser said Astartes means angel in Latin. It's hardly 40k. It is 40k. What? It is 40k has conquered it and taken the name. Does it censor tart? Probably. It probably does. So you can also petition, just petition in alpha, and somebody will help you change your name. Yeah, I'm just guys, I'm just messing with you. All good. Thanks for awesome stream. Hey, you're very welcome. Track them. Similar question. Yeah, like just if you don't mind, just petition and Thulon is correct up there. You should see us in our free time. In my free time, I'm mostly either pooping or sleeping, maybe working out, and or cooking dinner. That's where my free time goes. To continue the theme. All right, so 520. And where are we now? Oh, okay, that was one of the recommendations to add a house here. I've left a few of these open because I've kind of been like, oh, and this one, I feel like if we were going to make this a house, I would actually put the door here, leave it open, nice courtyard, and have it be part of this house. Cool to know you spent so much time on EQ as well. I bet you have some good Smed stories. There are a few Smed stories. Smed's a good guy. Now that I can look back on like my opinions and my behavior and stuff as a young, new to the industry professional, I gotta say Smed, Russ Shanks, Don Vercelli, honestly, everybody I dealt with back then, Needham, everybody was super patient because I did that thing where, you know, once I had like a year under my belt or something like that, and I'm, you know, I'm the content lead or whatever, right? Like, and I'm working on this big game and stuff. I thought I knew shit, and now I can look back on that and be like, here I am 20 some odd years later going, oh yeah, yeah. It's incredible how much I still don't know. So the amount I didn't know at the time was pretty significant. I listened to that Operation Ivy song. I think it's called, is it Knowledge? I listened to that the other day because I was thinking about this. The one with the chorus, all I know is I don't know. All I know is I don't know nothing. If we knew how dumb we were, we'd never start. Yeah, it's, I mean, that is one of the interesting things about this project is that it's such a crazy like challenge and such a crazy risk that it's one of those ones where even knowing going into it like, ooh, this is kind of a gnarly thing that we're going to try. It's just had to like turn that off. Just be, we got it. It's all good. It's not a big deal. Oh, I went the wrong way. I know where this other bug is, even without the coordinates. We're good. We're fine. When is Alpha starting? Alpha has been started. Zaprune. We are working our ways towards Beta right now. Do I have a link in here for that? I should, if I don't. Let me bring it up really quick. Unless somebody just happens to have it on hand. So, let's see. Where is that? Where is it? Oh, main page. Since no one's linked it yet. Community. Updates. Here we go. This link right here. Zaprune said, sorry, I meant beta. All the info you seek is right here. In their reflection, Goblin says, a fool sees a sage, while a sage sees a fool. Well, this fool sees some, I got some cardio in my future. That's what I see in the mirror at the moment. All the info with a nice little graphic. And yes, Goblin whipped that graphic up very quickly. Did some fast iteration as well. Bless him for it. Somebody said something that I think I needed to. Geister said, I never got to work with SMED, but I've worked with people who did. The industry isn't that big, really. Lots of cross-pollination. Yeah, it's a very small industry. Which is why I honestly, I recommend to people, it really, this industry is small, and like all industries, it's all about who you know. So don't be like me early in my career. I could not find a single battle that I did not want to fight when I was new in my career. Cool, this is fixed as well. All right, so how many bugs is that now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to the next one, which I believe is here. I'll copy it real quick. Jealous of my career. I feel like I came into the industry too late sometimes. I will admit that I absolutely benefited a bit from timing. But timing is also one of those strange ones where it's always happening, right? Like the perfect time to do something is right now. You just may not know what it is. That's the trick, right? When's the perfect time to buy Microsoft stock or whatever? For me, I just really felt like that was going to be timing wise. I was like, I had to do it. I didn't have another choice in life. I had to do it. I had to join the industry. I will say that it was not the easiest thing in the world. A lot of like at the time when I got to California, a lot of my girlfriend at the time sleeping on people's couches in their office while I worked for free after hours to try to like impress people enough to maybe give me a shot on the team. A lot of worrying about not getting that shot and all that sort of stuff. I think honestly, you know, what am I trying to say? I think everybody's situation's different, but I am a pretty firm believer in if something's important enough, like I don't know, joining the industry or whatever, there is a route to be found. It just may not be very convenient, or like to me, joining the industry was super sketchy. I lived in Alabama. We had just sold off our skate park. It was essentially a failed business. I had to take out a bank loan of like $800 to be able to afford the U-Haul. And I drove to California for the first time with no apartment lined up, no job lined up. And I just happened to know some people in San Diego. If it kind of went like ass up on me, then I'd be able to work at a skateboard company, very likely. But that was it, right? And that's super sketchy. I don't recommend that for everybody. But again, that's one of those things where it was like, we made it work. Vikral said, E7 in the military, and most of our training now is networking and leadership connections. All about who you know, get shit done. That, I mean, it's massive. That's the bulk. Work ethic, soft skills, network, and then, you know, having some core skill set that provides value outside of that. T. Weiler said, my high school counselor convinced me back in the early 2000s not to get into the game industry. He said they already had their millions and would never find a job. I regret listening. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry that you got bad advice. I don't think my high school guidance counselor would even know that a game industry existed. L-Dub, thank you for the follow if I didn't say that already. Some people started successful businesses in their 70s, so it's always now. I mean, yeah. Starting a business, that's like a separate topic, but data-wise, it's like, I think it proves out that older entrepreneurs do have a pretty decent track record. I think it's a temperament thing. It's a... All right, this one's not working. Door does not function, so that's not fixed. We'll have to look into that one. House ID 56. Moin L200 says, very good game. I like it. Hey, thank you. Spiral said, I'm really hoping I can leverage my QA/CS management experience to one day helping you guys out in a more robust capacity than just bug reports. Definitely stick around. I mean, depending on how the game does, CS is one of those things that we're keeping an eye on. How do we scale? Okay. There may be some background noise as Jasmine gets into the dog's freezer. Let's see. Swanee said, I got into the gaming industry by enabling customer service staff to do their jobs from the toilet. Niche path, perhaps. Well, in all fairness, you got in by understanding payment systems and stuff like that, and then you just happen to have a fetish for having us be able to work from the toilet. All right, so we're looking at house ID 56 really quick. CS is easy to scale now, just add AI. AI, everything's easy to scale now, just add AI. AI is, what can I say? AI is not blowing my socks off. Excuse me. And I'm not like a hater or whatever, I'm just... $56. House 56. All right, house ID. $56. All right. So that's working. This one isn't? All right, I'll write the note down. I just have to accept defeat. House ID, house 56. Door still not working. Let's try this next one. Copy and pasting out of these GitHub issues is not really perfect. Cool, grabbed it that time. Your concern, Idris says, my concern with AI is the oversaturation I'll have on the gaming market. Back in '94, I could get excited all year about one game being made, typically Mario or Zelda. Now there's hundreds of games coming out a year that are big with AI with house. Well, I think now there's actually like, if you look at the Steam data, I think it's like thousands of games a day are coming out because it's tens of thousands of games that come out every year. I think. I don't think I'm making shit up. The thing is, it'll just mostly be noise, and you won't. I don't think it's going to be any different, except it'll be easier to spot. It's like, show me a mobile game. That's not fair. There are a significant number of mobile games that have the exact same art style. They could be sharing the same assets, even though in a lot of cases someone was paid to make a unique asset that looks like every other one. Every once in a while, outsourced companies will hit me up and be like, hey, check out our portfolio. And I'm not picking on them for this. I understand that this is kind of where the market was and how they made their money. But like, I could bring up this portfolio of like Bubble Bobbler and, you know, Garden of Match 3 and Mystery Find a Booger Clicker, you know, whatever on the Siberian Express. It's like, it's the same themes. It's the same, in the art, it's like the same shit. And so like in the mobile space and everywhere else, it's and so, you know, not being snide or whatever, it's just, so I think what you can do is just use the AI to find a game that's like not made by AI. And then it'll be certified organic. Monsters and Memories is certified organic. No GMO. I'm saying in a silly way, but I'm not bullshitting. You know, it'll be craft, artisanal, grass-fed. I'm definitely grass-fed. Let's see. What was I gonna look up? I was gonna free range. Let's not get crazy. No glyphosate in this game. What was I gonna look up? Oh, how many games come out on Steam each year? And this is like, this is actual search. I'm not asking AI, but it's telling me anyway. Steam release nearly 19,000 games in 2024. What's the history? 2024 was 19,000, 2023 14,000, 2022 10,000. That's on Steam. That's not even counting. How many games come out on Google Play each year? Average daily game releases, approximately 1,613 new apps are published on Google Play each day. I'm not asking AI directly. I just typed it in the search and it sounds like AI is, it's unavoidable. We've been taken over. How many came out on Google Stadia? And would you even know? Okay, so this part works. Door function, sign does not. All right, so we already have a winner. Unfortunately, you now have to do shenanigans to not use AI on every browser, every search engine. It's everywhere. It really is. And yet, there are still niches to be filled. That's the crazy thing, right? Because it's like, I do believe that the future will include custom games that are custom tailored specifically to you. Now, once we've got overlapping, like interesting, like overlapping consensus space of multiple MMOs or like unique MMOs that are being custom tailored to the user that somehow are integrated and overlapping with each other, I think then essentially that's reality. What's the best way to communicate with me? Discord DM or Twitch DM? Well, since you're here and you probably want an immediate response, I would say Twitch DM. Hey, Gorebound. Halfling Sneak still doesn't work, says unable to cast no matter how long it's been on my bar. That sounds like a question for Nick. Are housing costs going to adjust dynamically with availability, or is everything planned to be set cost? It will be non-dynamic but managed. We'll be keeping an eye on it and learning as we go. I want to scroll all the way up because somebody asked me like a legitimate question. I missed it earlier and I feel bad now. Okay. Volsiv asked a little bit ago and I saw it. I meant to get back to it and was rambling about something. Class race question. Any possibility of the evil/deep races ever having a bard class as an option? Could be wrong, but I saw a race class, or yeah, race combo table and didn't see it as an option. Would love to play as a goblin or deep elf bard. I think that's a very fair question. We will see. Any thoughts on having multiple levels within dungeons that get progressively harder? Maybe a way to keep group content challenging on par with raids. You mean dynamically or statically? Because in zones, and I'm working on a dungeon right now, which we may get to after I check these bugs if I ever finish this. That has it's fairly progressive in terms of level, but like even something like Telekir, the progression in Wormsbane is shallower, but there's still a range there. Telekir, I think it starts at like 8 or 9 and progresses all the way up to like 28 or 30. So, does that answer your question, Neeks? Dude, I've been slacking on working out, and you don't care about this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I've been slacking on working out, and between squats this week and deadlifts today, my ass is sore. Nixon. Outlier. Shoot me a DM. Here, actually. Do I need help upstairs? No, but close. Younger said, I gave up workouts in December. Too many family, work parties, etc. Yeah, me too. And then there was the holidays and a little bit of travel. We had a stomach flu. I had all the excuses. I could have muted that, but I panicked. Thank you. All right, so this one was fixed as well. Let's go to the next one. So that works. Okay, use static ID 393. So let's go into the static table. What do you recommend for a slouch slob with lower back pain? Planks? I cannot, so I recommend that you get a medical professional's advice before doing anything I'm about to say. If you got lower back pain, I would say any core workout that you can do that does not feel like it's exacerbating your condition. Now, it may not be comfortable or whatever. There's a difference between this sucks or I'm not used to this and maybe it hurts a little bit or whatever, and like, hey, this is making things worse. But anytime I have like a twinge of pain in my back, I work core, and I'm being very general with that because there's so much out there that you can do. I tend to do like, for me, if I'm having back pain, I immediately just get into very simple crunches. All the recommendations, yoga is good, swimming is good. Just start working your body. And for me, what I find is there's nothing more motivating to me than that first little bit of like getting sore and feeling it all the time and kind of like being reminded that, oh shit, I'm a little sore because I did something and my body's like, oh, this is great. You know, like immediately there's zero change in the mirror, but the second I'm a little bit sore and I look in the mirror, I feel different. Florian said, the little sore makes me feel like I'm alive. 100%. That's a great way of saying it. So true story. I had a super bad sciatic problem. I woke up one day, I went to put my socks on. This is when I lived in Austin. I was working on DC Universe. A lot of stress. I just stopped working out for a while. I went to put a sock on. My back locked up completely. My girlfriend, fiance, whatever she was at the time, my future ex-wife, helped me like helped me basically because I was just I was you know in shrimp position, stuck. Helped me get dressed. I had to go down the stairs that way, get in a car that way, and immediately went to a doctor. And Sean in 3D just said I usually turn to opioids for the pain. That was the options. He said you can either start working out or we can put you on pain management. I was like, what's pain management? He's like, pills. I'm like, I'll start working out. No bullshit. Like as soon as I was unstuck, I decided, because I had always been driving by this boxing gym. No, it wasn't a herniated disc. It was just sciatic pain. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. And so I just was like, dude, I wanna box. Like I'd like to learn how to box. But I wasn't in shape. So you know what I did? I bought a Wii. I don't think I had a Wii yet. I bought a Wii and did Wii boxing for like a month because I was like, man, I'm so out of shape. I don't want to go into a boxing gym. Did Wii boxing in my living room for a month. Just nerding out. And then I learned to multi-box. Yes. And then I finally stopped into the boxing gym one night and there were some people sparring. It was a cool event, like or a cool evening. Went in there. We were standing there talking to those of you that have heard the story 100 times. I'm sorry, but like went in, was talking to the guy at the counter. There's a bar next door. It was like 7 p.m. because we were coming back. It was like Friday night after work. We were watching some guys spar in there. 2 drunk guys and like 3 or 4 girls come walking in, and we're like, the guy was like, I can do that. And the guy behind the counter said, if you sign a waiver, you can do that right now. And the guy kind of got called out. So he signed a waiver. He'd been drinking, so I don't think he should have legally been able to sign a waiver, but whatever, Texas. He got into the ring with the guy. They gave him headgear and some gloves. And the guy that was boxing just tore him up like immediately. And he got just beat up. They left. They got quiet. They left. And I was so sold. I was like, I want to learn how to do this. And the guy was like, I'm not the boxing coach. I teach Muay Thai. So if you want to show up in the mornings and learn Muay Thai, I'll be the one teaching. And that's how I started with like martial arts at, 32. Was just, my progression was back locked up. I was like, I got to get off my ass. Wii boxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And ever since then, like I've tried to basically stay on top of, I get a little slack every once in a while. And then like, so I thought I want to beat up drunk people. Yeah, I actually did. I was like, sold. Sean, thank you for the follow. No, Byral, I would not have to destroy you if you acted up, because I'm sure you're a very good person. So let's check this one out. This worked, this didn't work, this gave me a message, 393. Let's go into the static table. It's okay to slack here and there. We're not getting paid to be athletes, so it's hard to stay on top of your meals, lifting, training. That's my excuse, at least. I mean, yeah, like, whatever makes you feel good about life. But I will say that when I'm like kind of slacking, I feel it, and I start to tell myself like I gotta get my shit together. The cool thing is, it's just I'm blessed enough to be able to. Yep, let me delete this. You know, all my stuff mostly works fine, and let's see what happens if I reload the zone. And you know, I really enjoy the opportunity that I have. Like I'm truly thankful for the opportunity to be able to like exercise and work out and stuff, because I know not everybody's got that. Hey, Stab. Did you get the wheel fitness thing people did a bunch during COVID? No, I lived in Sweden, so I just went to the gym during that period. I trained at All Stars in Stockholm during that period, which if you guys know Hamzat Chamaev, that was the gym he was like literally living in at the time. If you guys like watch UFC, Gustafsson would be in there. Alir Latifi, Mad Dog Reza, like just crazy cool people would just be in there training all the time. Really, Zach? Hey, what's going on? Coda said Muay Thai is the best. It's a really cool sport. I know 2 different people that said VR changed their life regarding workout routines. I absolutely believe it. It seems like a really great way of doing it. Like I said, I did the Wii Fit at the time because that's what I had. Like Santa Pass said, Sean, you're lucky you bought a PC before the RAM catastrophe. I wanted to buy a new one to play Eminem, but damn. Yeah, dude, that sucks so bad. We talk about that in our Slack. First was just mentioning like some of the continued like price gouging that's going on. Ugh. Zach, are you streaming in a bit? What ended up being the problem with your chat window from last stream? Grandoc, I could not figure it out at all. And I tried everything. I couldn't figure it out. I've got to say for what it's worth, I use Streamlabs desktop, and I've been super impressed with it. It maybe doesn't do everything like regular Streamlabs OBS can do or whatever. I don't know. I'm not that into it. But I will say getting a new, is it because your question is low quality that's being ignored? No, it's just because I ramble and shit. I'll get to it in a second. Thank you for calling me out. And I'll answer Sean's question as well. Everything from the old PC moved over like seamlessly, like every little like alert box, stuff that's specific to my setup, like the little, this be right back that Hamad made for me back in the day, everything would just worked. And so I just went in and reinstalled the chat source and it fixed it. That's it. All right, so let me see what low quality question you asked, Dob. Dob said, any plans on changing classes as we go, like make an archer and find out that the ranger would be cooler? And re-level, setback level, some sort of progression. Now you just got to restart. Sorry. Fixing my diet is how I managed to get my sciatica in check. It makes a huge difference, I bet. And then Sean, where was his question? Where was it? Oh, there it is. What game are you making? Got my own game I'm making. I'm looking for motivation to work on my own instead of playing Timberborn. I am working on a game called Monsters and Memories. Which I should be in that channel. Am I not in that channel right now? Or am I... What channel am I in? I'm in our channel. I'm in our channel. Why are you asking? Huh? How did you find us? I'm just kidding. Here. This is our Discord. In case you have other questions. But here's our game. Do I have the website set up? Yeah, there you go. Captain Caldwell said I had L5S1 surgery in 21. Corin stretching keeps all the pain away. Nice. I had 2 herniated discs in my neck. So the same year that I got my finger amputated and my shoulder surgerized, I also had 2 herniated discs. And you clicked on the game development category. I shouldn't be in there. I'm in the M&M category, right? According to Twitch, I am. Oh, maybe. Yeah, this finger... when was that? Like last year, or was it the year before? I forget. Would you say M&M is more CPU intense? Yes. I mean, I'm not like a tech guy, but yes. It's my understanding that it is primarily CPU intensive. But I could be full of shit. So that's what our wonderful Discord is for. How long were people calling you Stumpy or Lefty afterwards? It is my left hand. Stumpy, I haven't heard yet. That would be mean. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I know. I honestly, I don't remember when I lost the finger. I think it was like February of last year. Year before. Yeah. So February of last year. I mean, the year before is when I lost the finger. It sucks, dude. It does not help with Alt-Shift, Alt-Control. It sucks. Because I don't have any feeling in it, so I can't use it for that. It feels really weird. It is a pain in the ass with bindings. I lost it. I tore a ligament in it, and it was just like it had a swan neck deformity afterwards. And rather than fuse it, I just asked if they would cut it off, so they cut it off. They were like, we can fuse it. I'm like, that's not going to work. That doesn't work for me. Please chop my finger off. My wife was like, they're not going to chop your finger off. I was like, they'll chop my finger off. And she was like, no, they're not going to chop your finger off just because you ask. And I was like, we'll see. And I went to the doctor and he's like, we can fuse it. We can try to repair it and it's going to not function fully. And I was like, can you chop it off? And he looked at me and went, yep, we can do that too. That's the third option. I said, let's do that then. All right, so I fixed that part of the door. One second, yeah. Huh. We'll keep an eye on him. Dog problem. more of a off-topic question. Do you have an offline environment for testing changes? Do you literally push them to dev server and reload? Most of the changes that we do are in data and can be checked super quickly. They could be checked offline on a local server. It's just super fast to like push them to the dev environment and just reload. Essentially, straight from our database into reloading the data on it. But the housing system's set up in a way where you kind of need there are a couple different pieces at play, and it's nowhere near as smooth to test. So let me make a note about this door as well. And that's going to be house 60. Everything else is a lot smoother, to be honest. House 60. Removed static door. Door still doesn't work. And that may just be like I need to bounce the server again or something. Hold on 1 second. All right. Can we make it so members can invite the guilds? It's only officers at the moment. I don't want to give everyone the power to kick. I think that's a good slash feedback kind of request. Slash bug feedback. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next house and see if that's fixed. I think this is the one we checked initially. That works. Okay, so that one's fixed. And then check this one. Pyro, yes. Hey, there you are. I told you I thought I fixed it. Have you been unable to get in at all? Like, have you even seen the interior of this place? Oh, I should probably fix the width. There's a weird thing that happens with some of the door widths. I don't know what's going on, but let me make a note. Fix Pyros. You can jump off Hoop's roof. Okay, cool. Let me add that note. Oh man, I always forget. Frame might be getting cold. No, the frame's still there. It's just like some of these doorways are just like random sizes, and so I've just kind of like honestly grabbed. Speaking of, you'll see a very random door size in a second. It'll be my next one that I go to on the list. Let me make a note about this though. Make Rose door bigger. All right, next door. Speaking of odd sizes. And you know what? I'm like, I just went with it. I'm just kind of like, I'm just gonna make this door weird size for now. It's faster than trying to get the geo fixed. This door. It's a very odd size. Let's go. It's ogre sized. Is there limited housing? First come, first serve? There is, but there's a fair amount of it and in rooms and stuff going on. So this door is a bit more ogre sized. Found a major issue. The world is slowly growing, very slowly. Is that for real? IRL? Is the perspective fixed or can you zoom in and out a bit? Oh, no, you can zoom in and out. Interesting. Are you new as well? Santa Pask says... One question, Sean. If the game got like super famous, how would you actually deal with the fact that there are limited houses in Night Harbor? Like that the houses are on a physical place though. It's going to be a pretty big world. And so there are other places where you can find houses. There are other places you can find houses outside Night Harbor in game already. Some housing prices will be different. And I was thinking about that earlier because I was like looking at the big table of houses, right? And so we can price every house individually. And we can, you know, and over time it'll be nice to get some additional requirements in for certain houses. So you've got to like unlock the opportunity to get the house and things like that. Houses can be lost if you don't pay rent. There will be multiple servers is the best answer, yes, to the original question. Guild halls, forts or camps out in the world. Structures out in the world are definitely on the list, and we already have some simple examples. I think someone just mentioned Shallow Shoals has some stuff out there. Guild houses, they're already in, like, but we're not like designating it like this, you have to be in a guild to get this house. We're just going to make them more expensive and more interesting. And so it'll be more likely that you'll be a part of your guild to have that property. But like this property, who's going to develop Zillow for Eminem? I'm not joking. It's needed because, excuse me, burps. There are so many different like just unique feeling properties. Let me go back to being the proper size. Right, and we've talked about in the future the ability to have like sublet. Ooh, waiting list for a house is interesting. Housing such a waste of time in MMOs? To some people. And so that's one less house that we need to provide since you don't want one. There'll be some gameplay associated with it. You can use your property to be a shop. This property over here has its own, it comes with its own stall, market stall on the outside. So this market stall is actually unlike the other market stalls. This market stall is tied to this property. So you can own this property and it could be a shop with a stall. It could be your house with a stall. Yeah, so there are a lot of different properties. Is this one that was broken from earlier? I think this one's the one that's broken. Don't look at that. All right, so let's go find the next issue. House sign and door do not function. Let's go find it. See if it works now. I'm very interested in discovering why those other ones didn't work. A merchant stall would be nice. Hey, see? We got something for you. You can rent a merchant stall. They're usually shorter term rentals. So, oh, and here's a perfect, this is like the perfect size. I mean, you know, little rough on the camera there, but or is, oh, there's like, I'm clipping on something. Oh, okay, so it's not just the, we'll get it fixed. Everything will eventually be fixed. You can share houses with your friends, your family, your guild. We want to have like some options for you to like have permissions, maybe eventually per volume or per room. If you're somebody that's, you don't want a house, you think it's a waste, but you would like to have this cute little 2-bed, 0-bath bungalow. Yeah, not a lot of bath. Not, we've got a bathhouse for that, Zillith. But see, you can rent a stall here. When you rent a stall, you'll be able to put up your display cases and stuff like that. You're in there as an ogre and invisible? Really? Interesting. Anybody streaming after me? Well, hopefully, I think Zach might be. Is it planned to make people buy and sell from the stall? Yes. Yeah, so it ties in with like /auction channel. You'll have the ability to put up your display cases. There's a whole progression there. You can take items from people and sell them for them via a consignment container. So I could be basically a pawn shop, or what would that, a consignment shop? Like I could just take all of your items that you want to sell. We set up contracts for each of the items basically. And so I put them into my container. Other people can see your items and I can sell it for whatever I want. You give it to me and say, I want 100 gold for this item. And other people do that as well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you got 3 days to sell it. And so then I have the shop set up because I like to actually do the shop game. And I'll sell your item for like 150 or 200. And then I'll pocket the extra 50 or the extra 100. And then you get your money and you're able to go pick up your money. And then if I can't sell it or I try to delete it or anything like that, then it goes to the customs house and you can just pick it back up. So what we're trying to do is, instead of just go straight to like an auction house solution where it's all automated, the idea was, we know there are different types of people that like to play in different ways. Some people hate this kind of thing. Some people, they just want to grind. They want to kill stuff. They want to progress. Makes sense. I can go out with my amazing like pack animal, my donkey, and I can pick up items from you and I can take them back in and maybe sell them or give them to somebody that wants to sell. Here, let me show you a cool, this is why you're going to really be excited about going out with your pack animal. So you come moseying out there with this handsome fella. He's got some bags on him. I load up your stuff. I take it back to town. Or maybe I deliver it, you know, to somebody that's got a stall set up because they've got a shop set up. And so then then we can use this foundation as like a means of progressing these social systems. Because like Dargit said, I 10,000% hate active trading and tunneling. Really excited for the consignment idea though, right? Because there are other people that just really love it. And so we like that active bartering. We like the kind of the atmosphere it creates. Yeah, so that's our story. Oh, here's another. I'll cheat and show you another one. Staff making a donkey with tons of character. When we add donkeys to the game, please call it the Day of the Ass. I think that's a fair request. Speaking of ass, my ass is so sore. Lucky said, I know people who never left the EC tunnel and loved every second of it. Yeah. One of the richest people on our server was just an active trader when I was playing. All right, so let's go back to checking houses. Oh, this door needs fixed. What's going on? House sign door does not function. House sign does function. Door does function. Darga said Donkey looks amazing. Model, textures, all of it. Our team knocking it out of the park again. I agree with you on that. Sorry, I'm looking at chat and walking into walls. This door is messed up. So which house was this? This was house number 151. I'll make a note. House 151, door needs to be bigger. Are there plans to implement the full casting animation before beta? It's a good question. I actually don't know what's still missing. It's a good question to ask in Discord so that we don't forget. Feel free to tag Nick, Erkenstaff, Sforce. Thank you for the follow 30 minutes ago. Sorry I missed it. So the incentive is the added features like commission, display boxes, etc. Just make sure I don't need a stall to make. Nah, you don't. It's just to make your life easier, Seaborn. You can trade however you want, whatever you want. It just normally. These are just things where if you're somebody that's like more into trading, it makes your life easier. Dargith, that's a good point of feedback as well. We've got some animation capacity, so make sure that you're passing that feedback along. Not saying it's infinite, but we have some. All right, next house. So are you guys like watching from work or what's going on? It's Friday, isn't it? It's never really truly Friday for me. So it's always kind of... Watching from work, cool. Work from home. Makes sense. End of sprint day, going into a 3-day weekend. Mentally checking how to work. Nice. Byron said got laid off, so I'm at home. I'm sorry to hear that. It's been a rough couple years for folks. 2100 in Sweden. Ain't working. Right on. Tjena. Rain day here in Alaska. Bad weather and ice. Oh, that sounds rough. Yeah, the layoff situation, it really is. It's tech industry. House sign and door don't work. I think they're both fixed. Okay, so I don't know why the other ones weren't. Magic Hot said homesick, watching from bed. Oh, that's no good. I hope you feel better. Is it just the crud that's been going around? We had it was like a combo stomach. It started out like feeling like the flu, and then it was like a stomach bug, and it was not fun. But we lost a couple kilos, I think, and kicked the year off. Kicked the year off right. Severe cold and sinus issues. Ugh, not fun. Not fun. Well, I hope you feel better. I hope you're at least getting some nice, like fever dreams. I love that part of being sick. The sharpening of 2026. You laugh, man. That's the worst. Workout tips: work your core and get sick. Exactly. That is that's the worst feeling when you got a stomach bug. It's like, I don't think I am, because you're, you know, maybe you're used to passing a little gas like a normal human, and then you've got to like be on your toes. You got to remember, I can't just do that right now. Well, that sounds like a not too bad deal then. If you're gonna be sick, playing some M&M and watching a stream seems good. I love it. Coda, so are you completely new to what we're doing here? You've asked a couple questions and I was like, I just always assumed that the people in chat are like the same 20 people I've been talking to for years. Are you new to Monsters and Memories? Watched some videos recently. Okay, cool. I missed that part because I'll be honest with you, I'm really trying to finish this list of bug verifications. VOD Goblin here. I appreciate the people watching the VODs. And the comments and the positive energy. Yeah, it's always cool to meet new people though. So sign works, door does not. All right, let's go see if we can find it. I'm trying to break the record for most work done on a stream by me. Dude, I've just got so much shit to get done. I'm really just trying to knock out these bugs. So essentially, as soon as I can knock out the bugs with this housing, I want to start getting the other districts put in. But I've also got like a dungeon that I want to try to get to a playable state as fast as possible. Yeah. So what happens to a player's house if they wage war against the guards? Does it get repossessed? Oh, that's a good question. We could eventually do something like that, I guess. Can guards follow players into their homes? Currently, yes. Maybe we should add a faction check on housing. Coda said, I heard about M&M a couple days ago. Had a fever dream the following night. Not kidding. So excited and hyped for M&M. EQ's my favorite game ever. Loving it to death. Awesome. Well, welcome. Glad to meet you. Excited that you're here. Oh shit, I forgot to take my test gnome out. Let me make a note. Remove the test gnome. And it's like in all caps, remove me. I did not. Don't forget to remove test gnome. Hey, buddy. Will players be able to buy a home and rent it out Airbnb style? No, but we've talked about maybe having like, because some of the shops or whatever seem like it'd be cool to sublet shop space as kind of a stall. But for now, just assume no. Sign works, door does not. Both now work. Fixed. Okay, I think that was it for the bugs. So now I've just got to figure out what's going on with these other ones. And what do we have? We had house 56, 60, and 151. Oh, that's really nice of you. Thank you, Coda. Hyper Taco says, Robot, what happens when you fail to pay rent and lose your home? Does all your furniture go to the bank? If you right by the house, does your furniture get set back up automatically? You have to replace everything. Currently, all of your house will go to the customs agent. And so there'll be a place where when the housing situations occur or with the consignment bags and stuff like that, stuff gets dumped back at the customs agent in town. And you'll have to go there to pick up your stuff. And then you'll have to, if you rent another place or re-rent your place, you'll have to go back and put stuff back up. In the future, will we allow you to like save certain layouts or, you know, things like that? That's, you know how MMOs are. Over time, all sorts of things get added, and you know, certain quality of life stuff is not things that we, you know, are too worried about. There's a lot of other stuff though where we're like, yeah, we don't want to remove certain frictions. So I think I got to sneeze again. Dargit, that was very nice of you as well. For as mean to me as you've been over the years. Hey, Zukin. All right, I think that was, so let's see what's going on with these other houses. Why were they not working? Okay, I think 2 of the other houses had statics that were there, so it may just need the statics removed and a server reboot. Okay, so we got that over here. Lex said, wife and I played together last play test and we're having the same feelings. It's a great game, even at this stage of development. That's so cool that you and your wife play. I'm so amped on like all of the families. We've had so many reports of like, you know, siblings playing together, you know, mom or like kids and dad and spouses, and it's just cool. I think the worst part of the layoff is the boredom from home now. Oh yeah, you gotta keep yourself busy. I forget, I asked earlier and I don't know, was it a tech layoff? Oh nice, that's cool to hear. Shmurda Byron. I will say my recommendation for game development folks that have been laid off, and I think potentially tech folks. Once you've kind of got the like, oh shit, I've been laid off blues out of your system or whatever, just working on stuff and looking around in your network to see if you can work with some other people on some things. I mean, think about it. This game started as like 3 of us just working on what we could early on. I think it, you know, I think it really behooves folks to, I need to fix this as well. What's the look? I think it really behooves folks to, if they can, keep working on your craft. Don't let it go stale. Three of them just fucking about the other, making best MMO of decades. Hey! I'll take that. That's a glowing endorsement. Behooves, which branch were you in? Army? What, is that a military term? Yeah, it behooves you to get your shit together. I was just telling my wife, and I guess God bless her for having, like, forgetting some of the stories. I get to tell them again. I was just telling her of my my first week in basic training, and it was just it wound up being just such a great, memorable basic training for me because I went to basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia. And my dad was an air assault instructor at Fort Rucker, Alabama, which was only like, I don't know, hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes away. And before I joined the Army, I went up there and like did PT and stuff like with them at the air assault school. And when we got off of the cattle cars and we're sitting there in the breezeway of our the barracks that we're going to be in, and the drill sergeants are doing their first initial pass around and yelling, and we're all like, oh, panicked, and they finally got you to sit on your like duffel bag or whatever. No bullshit, it was the best moment ever, like not exaggerated or made up. Drill Sergeant Wilson, my favorite drill sergeant by the end of it, walks by me, slowly walking through, walks by me, stops, walks backwards, turns and faces me, and says, Drill Sergeant, or no, he goes, Private Lord, do I know you, Private Lord? And it's like, no, Drill Sergeant. He's like, Private Lord, I think I know you. Like, no, Drill Sergeant. I'm like terrified. And he goes, is your daddy in the Army, Private Lord? I'm like, yes, Drill Sergeant. He wouldn't happen to be Sergeant Lord. Yes, Drill Sergeant. He goes, just start doing push-ups. Just beat your face. Do push-ups. And I'm like immediately down. He's like, oh, Private Lord, we're going to have such a good time. And I'm doing push-ups and he goes, have you been at your daddy's air assault school? I was like, yes, Drill Sergeant. He's like, your dad likes to yell at drill sergeants, doesn't he? Yes, Drill Sergeant. Just keep doing push-ups. Oh, it was so good. And so at lunch, they would regularly bring new drill sergeants by while I'm like sitting there. I would see them walking up with a new drill sergeant. I'd just put my tray down. If we're on the range or something, I'd just be like, all right. I'd get up, parade rest, and they're like, and they all had great names. Drill Sergeant Mangles. He was Spanish, but Drill Sergeant Mangles, I guess it was Mangles or something like that, but Mangles. Drill Sergeant Mudd came up one day because he had gone to air assault school as well. And they just, and they would ask me questions and I'm just me. So they're like, did you think it was funny when your dad's yelling at drill sergeants, Private? And I'd just be like, yes, Drill Sergeant. It was. Do more push-ups. Smoked, Drill Sergeant. Roll over and do flutter kicks then. But yeah, those of you, Bill, you asked, I did jump out of the jump towers when I was done with one stop unit training? OSIT? When I was done with basic training in AIT, before I went to my unit, I went to airborne school. Can't smoke a rock, that is true. Getting shit because my dad, it was well earned. My dad terrorized people. Mangles like an AC? Yes. That is where Mangles comes from. Not to break character or whatever, but every fantasy world has some inspiration. Warrior quest involving push-ups. If we had the animation. I have a staff sergeant doctor in our military medical school. He is not a doctor. Oh, so Drill Sergeant Mangles. I apologize for you guys that have heard these stories 1,000 times. I really do apologize. The Drill Sergeant Mangles was not one of my drill sergeants. Drill Sergeant Mangles was from a different platoon. And the reason why Drill Sergeant Mangles stuck out to me, and I was telling my wife this story earlier as well, is when my dad sent me away. Did my dad ever find out I was being punished for being his son? Yes, immediately, and he laughed, and he laughed and laughed, and is probably still laughing today. The Drill Sergeant Mangles, was honestly, I swear, he like had this bullfighter mystique to him. Super tall guy, very like Spanish, but like kind of, I don't know, from Spain kind of vibe. I don't know. Anyways, we were on the range. We were going to be shooting that day, and it was just pouring down rain. It was kind of cold for Georgia. It was raining, and you stand in line in the rain. You finally get into this tent where they're doing breakfast, and we've been like, you only get water and 1 milk a day. That like we weren't allowed to have juice at that time. Definitely no sodas, no coffee, no nothing. And so we're standing there in the rain. We go into the tent. We're packed in there, you know, just sort of nuts to butts. And it's just kind of miserable, to be honest. And the drill sergeant yelled out, Drill Sergeant Mangles. And okay, the precursor is my dad told me when I joined the army, volunteer for everything. Always volunteer. Just always volunteer. He told me a few things. He said, when you go there, you're not going there to make friends. It's work. Always volunteer. If they ask for something, raise your hand. Right? And so I'm not a shy person for the most part. And I've always had like a thing with authority. And so Drill Sergeant Mangles, when we're in there, goes, privates, yells out like privates, says something about the weather being bad. And he said, who would like Drill Sergeant Mangles to make them a coffee? And keep in mind, like, this crap is always a trap. It's always a trap. And so, who would like Drill Sergeant Mangles to make him a coffee, privates? And because he's standing there with a nice hot cup of coffee. And the drill sergeants are like serving us. And he asked it and nobody said anything. Everybody's like looking down. It's like it's a trap. And he goes, nobody wants coffee from Drill Sergeant Mangles? And I go, I do, Drill Sergeant. And like the people right near me are like, dude, shut up. You know, don't get us in trouble. And it was like, who said that? Who said that? And like everybody's like, oh no. I'm like, I did, Drill Sergeant. He's like, oh, Private Lord. And he goes, long story short, what do you take in your coffee, Private? And I'm like, if I'm going for it, I'm going for it. And so I was like, cream and sugar. He's like, he wants cream and sugar. And so we get up there and he hands me my coffee. We go out. There's like a little berm or a log or something. My buddy and I had scoped out. We sit down. We sit down. It's raining so hard, like the food on our tray is already starting to like, it's already filled with water, the tray, and it's starting to like, eggs are floating off and stuff. And I'm just keeping my hand over my coffee and I'm drinking the first coffee I'd had in like, I don't know, weeks, month. I don't know when it was exactly, but I'm drinking this and dude, it was the best coffee. Nothing happened to me. Drill Sergeant Mango said something about cojones or something like that. But yeah, that was just like one of my favorite memories, is just sitting there on that whatever wet ass thing we were sitting on and having that coffee. We're having a bug right now with like non-moving NPCs not rendering until we reload the zone. I watched how he made the coffee. It wasn't a trap. Nope, it was a test. What was the logic? Somebody asked what was the logic behind... Oh, Zukin did. Behind volunteering for everything? My dad just had like a crazy work ethic. And he joined the army when he was 17. And that was the career he knew. He came from a pretty rough household. And my mom was pregnant. You know, they got together when it was like when they were 16, pregnant, had me when they were 17. My dad immediately joined the army, and that was just kind of his thing. And he was a very no bullshit, didn't really take shit from anybody. So, but he was a really good soldier. And yeah, so yeah, volunteering for everything, it's like put yourself forward, right? Like be a leader. If you volunteer for everything, that's just leadership, right? It trains you to be a leader. Brody 2099 says, I never see any group gameplay in these streams. Any way to show off what an actual game looks like in a dungeon or something? The easiest way to see it is to watch. There's a ton of like gameplay content out there. Criddle was just in here. Some of the other guys. Like there's an absolute ton of gameplay content. I'm in the editor. The reason why you're not seeing anything is every once in a while, but not really recently, we'll be playing together as a team on some stuff. I'm honestly just kind of like rounding out my week by hanging out here. Oh, he's moonwalking sideways. Shooting the shit and checking some bugs. Yeah, KP duty, you do get to sneak some food. Where was that? So the remaining bugs to be checked. Let's stop here. And let's go back into the editor and look and see if we can figure this out. All right, so let me see this story that you're typing up. It was mud with 2Ds. Scrolling back down. We went down range at the end of my basic training. They gave awards to the top 3 shots for that day. The reward was McDonald's bacon, egg, and cheese. Purposely got 5th place because I knew it was a trap. Winners got their biscuits and were crapping their brains out 2 days after. Why? That doesn't sound like a fun trap. Yeah, that is a good recommendation. That's solid. And Monsters and Memories gameplay in YouTube will bring up a bunch of stuff. You'll see videos, like there are a few people in here, Squats and others make videos and stuff. PT instructor had a Roadrunner tattooed on his calf for a good reason. Guy could run forever. Yeah, there's some crazy. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your full request, Hebrew Hammer. There's some crazy athletes in. Class and Cool. Quatos. There's a ton. Night Harbor. We'll go over to Subscene Loader, Inspector. Now, what did happen was the first day they let us, like the transition from basic to AIT, they let us go to the PX and buy stuff. And like I kept it pretty chill because I was like, we're going to get smoked as soon as we get back. And people were just loading up on ice cream and everything else. And sure enough, we got back and they just smoked us. All right, so let's find these houses. Come over here. PX is post exchange. It's like a store, but kind of like a, I don't know, I'm losing my English, variety store. Walmart on base is a good description. Yeah, that's a fair point. Mini Walmart. Housing. Slash Key, thank you for the raid. Welcome, folks. What's up, Nimdork? Is a BX just a base exchange? Hey, Ninja Loot. Why? What is a PX? A PX is the reason why army dudes all dress the same. When you see those dudes, it used to be like New Balance was the thing. If you saw some dudes about town in New Balance, then you didn't even have to look at the haircut. It's like New Balance, the same jeans, the same belt, Under Armour. 25 ducats. Thank you for the follow. You've been out of the military for almost 25 years. I got out of the military in 97. So I worked security in DC at a big club for a bit. So I didn't maintain the permitted military hairstyle. I shaved it because I was always in dress blues when I was at work for the most part. So I just kept it super shaved, so I look quasi-civilian. I played a little bit of Ultima Online, but not very much. I mean, that was back in the day. Yeah. 10 years before you were born. Yep, I'm getting old. My tattoos on my arm are... My tattoos are 30 years old. That's wild. Let's see. House 56 door was still not working, so let's find house 56 in here. Color's holding well for the age. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. Let's try something really quick. Let's load the static placement tool and see if they're overlapping. Now old, more refined. Doc, yeah. My tattoos are vintage now. Get what you pay for? I honestly did not pay for a lot of my tattoos. 2 years from retirement in the Coast Guard. Vickril, congrats on that. I hope the next 2 years fly by for you if that's your... If that's what you're into. If you're like not wanting to get out, which would be odd, but if you're not wanting to get out, then I hope you enjoy your last 2 years. Show refresh. So EQ was my first MMO, and I honestly, it was like it was a hard sell to get into UO after playing EQ, but there was so much cool shit in UO that I wish was in EQ when I was working on EQ. So you'll see some of that and kind of some of the stuff that we approach here, where it's like, all right, so what's going on with this? All right, so it's house 56, sign set up properly. House door 317. Let's check our doors real quick. House. EQ into PSO into Swig. What's up, IGT? Roll Triple X says, regarding beta opt-in, I know a lot of people following on Discord closely did the beta opt-in when you released it. Can you do the first 100 people to opt in, get in since we follow so closely and pray? Nope. I mean, we could probably figure out a way to do that, but I don't know that we will. 317, 317, house 56. Well, that seems off. Dude, the impact of... No, I guess that's correct. Why isn't this working? All right. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to check back on that again offline and see if it's just like streaming curse or what. House 60 had a static door. I think that's just going to require a server restart. So, but let's just go take a look at it really quick. And then make, oh yeah, make Viro's door bigger. What is that about? All right. I have questions for Ollie. But while I'm in here, and now I just got to figure out what's going on with these statics. Zaw said, I still remember when the guy at Babbage's talking to us about EQ for about an hour, handed me and my dad Scars of Elias back in the day. Lives were changed. Yeah, my journey was like Walden Software in the Wiregrass Common Mall in Alabama. And I got there by way of some dude that I was playing against in a Quake ladder match when we were waiting like for the match to be over or whatever. I was just talking in like console chat, and I asked if there were any 3D RPGs like this where we could walk around and talk to each other, and he said a game called EverQuest just came out, and to go to the mall and check it out, and I did, and that was that. Cool. All right, so I tell you what, guys, I'm pretty much out of steam, and before the wife falls asleep, I want to check in on her. Our dog was acting silly earlier, so I want to check in and figure out if he's still acting silly. Oh yeah. Guys, please watch out. If anybody's trying to sell you like alpha access or CD key, or if anybody or any service is trying to sell you a key to get in, it's bullshit. And if you would, just let us know in Discord. We'll keep an eye on that. Quato said he would sell us one for $1 trillion. That one is actually legit. If you have $1 trillion. Byro says, remember my question been meaning to ask on the no-box servers? Well, what will happen if I have a LAN party at my friend's house? You should be fine. If any questions come up, just let us know what's going on, but you should be fine. Yeah. Just have Swanee unban you. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna raid Zach. I think Zach is still streaming, so I'm gonna raid him. You guys can check out some wonderful art being made. That'll give me an opportunity to catch up on some messages. And then I can check on my wife and puppy before bed. I'm hoping your door will finally be fixed soon, Viro. Thank you for your patience. Coda, thank you for being here. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for being here. Stick around for the raid. Since we're raiding somebody, I will not be saying goodnight to everybody individually, but next time, if we're not raiding, we'll try to get all the good nights in. Let's go find Zach, and then let's raid him. Those of you that were offering subs or whatever, if you're not subbed to Zach, you can do it there. He's got his turned on. I do not. We're starting to raid now. Please stick around. Again, everybody have a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody is safe, and I see you again next week. Alrighty, we're gonna do it now. Have a great one. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome.
Would be nice.